So we live, man. Welcome to the Foul Report, man. For my good old Laker fans, man, welcome. And if it's your first time to the channel, man, welcome to the Get Down. Oops, excuse me. I'm about to say Get Down Foul Report. It's the Get Down Foul. You know, we get down foul here every once in a while, but it's the Foul Report, the Foul Report. You know what I'm saying? Where we go over bunch of different topics. Main ones, one of the main ones being sports. We full-fledged season into the full-fledged into the off-season of the NBA. My squad, the Lakers, are making moves. Everybody's talking about them. Like the moves they're making are not it. You know what I'm saying? But I tend to think different. Not only because I'm a fan, but because I tend to watch the sport of basketball and see how things build over time. See how patterns and trends change over the, given atmosphere, environment that the NBA is in right now. So with that being said, man, we're gonna react to a video, man. Did Rob Pelinka build a monster now that LeBron is gone? You know what I'm saying? We got this video. Go over there to them. Thanks for the clip, NBA Inside. Go over there to their channel and check it out. The commentary was broken down very well. But without further ado, man, hope y'all been doing good. Started off your week how you wanted to start it off. Refresh, recharge, ready to go on these busters. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. With all that being said, man, if you haven't yet, please hit the like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's go check this out. Without further ado.
Like, this is going to be one of, if not the best offensive teams in the league. This Laker roster.
LeBron James, certainly a big sting to the Lakers, but their recovery with these four players is big.
Say that.
Do you remember Game 4 that just concluded Western Conference semifinals? Yeah, when the Lakers rolled out LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, and Austin Reeves, and they got swept off the floor like they weren't literally the freaking Lakers. Well, within 1 month of that happening, 4 of those 5 starters were gone. LeBron told them he's finishing his career somewhere else. Smart left, Kennard left, Hachimura left, and Rob Pelinka looked at $50 million in cap space, a superstar Luka Dončić who knew exactly what he needed, and a 24th pick from Baylor who's currently making everyone drafted ahead of him look absolutely silly in Summer League, and then decided this was the moment.
Shout out to him. Shout out to Cameron Carr, man, doing his thing. Only in Summer League. They knew this kid was good, man. Was seasoned.
To rebuild the Los Angeles Lakers completely. But did he pull it off? Well, that's exactly what we're getting into today. But if you thought this was just another regular team rebuild, wait till you hear what they decided about Luka's next season. The Lakers are about to change the entire league forever. But before we get into what Pelinka just built, you have to understand what walked out of the door first. Because this is not some normal, boring house.
You got to understand, man, we trendsetters, man. We might have set the league off into a new pattern. Remember when people thought, oh, Golden State may be crazy. You're putting all your faith in Steph Curry, and all he does is shoot threes, and the game will change. Things like that happens.
Season where a team loses a couple of bench pieces and just moves on. We're talking about 4 completely different specialized jobs leaving at the same time. And the Lakers somehow acted like losing all that production was the actual plan. LeBron James obviously went first. The man gave him 8 seasons and a championship, and he was still casually averaging almost 21 points at 41 years old.
I give the king his props there. I'll give him his props there. 41. And he's right, casually averaging 21. Some people in the NBA career played their whole career, and if they averaged 21, that was a stellar season. Stellar. He's at 41 doing it.
While making all-star teams. Then on June 30th at 9 in the morning, which was literally 6 hours before teams could even legally call free agents, he told management he was finishing his career somewhere else.
LeBron James has informed the Los Angeles Lakers that he is moving on. He told the Lakers that they can move on with their business this offseason.
And just like...
Hey, my personal opinion in this thing, I think the Lakers did the classy thing and allowed him to paint that narrative, to uphold his legacy on the way out. And we were so classy, we allowed him to do it. Yeah, I said it. So you see, Philly paid $8 million for him. You know what I'm saying? That shows excuse me, what's the want for you? Supply and demand.
That it was over. But here's the thing. LeBron's leaving was actually the easy part of the process. What hurt more was everything that went with him. Marcus Smart walked out and took the entire defensive backbone with him. This was the guy drawing Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and SGA every single night, and winning those matchups more often than anyone gave him credit for. Then Luke Kennard, who showed up at the trade deadline and immediately became the most reliable offensive weapon they had coming off the bench, and he was suddenly gone too. Then Hachimura also signed with the Clippers.
When Luka Dončić got traded to us, I was like, this dude is a bum. He's a perennial journeyman. It was just what we needed at the time. Some fluid scoring off the bench, a real shooter, pure shooter. And game one, I want to say, for that Houston series, or the Houston series, he was doing pretty good, man. He surprised me. That's why I'm all in on this quote unquote white lineup.
So if you're keeping track, their best shooter, their best perimeter defender, their most efficient forward, and their literal franchise cornerstone all vanished in a single summer. And if that sounds like a teardown rather than a retool, well, that might be exactly what the front office was banking on, because every single one of those moves happened for one reason. See, the thing about Luka Dončić is that he already knew exactly what he needed around him, long before free agency even opened. And he was not shy about it either. He wanted a high-level center who absolutely eats in the pick and roll. He needed elite perimeter defenders who could cover for him on the other end so he could save his energy. He wanted consistent three-point shooting to open up his insane passing lanes, and he needed secondary scorers who could take the load off his shoulders when opposing defenses inevitably key in on everything he does. That was the entire checklist. LeBron's exit cleared $50 million in cap space. Rob Pelinka finally had the bag to actually chase all of it. So what did he do? He sat on his hands while the rest of the league was going crazy in free agency. Teams were signing guys left and right, contracts flying everywhere, and the Lakers were just waiting. And then about 35 minutes on a Wednesday morning, the whole thing came together. Now here's what most people are missing about every single move Pelinka made that morning. Each one of them does not just serve Luka. They create the exact environment where their new rookie, Cameron Carr, becomes one of the most dangerous young pieces in the entire Western Conference. And it all starts with the one specific move that blew absolutely everything else out of the water. Because for years, the Lakers had this huge problem they genuinely could not fix, no matter what they tried at center. And it honestly was not even subtle because Luka knew it, the front office knew it, and every fan watching knew it. So when free agency opened and two massive targets popped up, Walker Kessler and Jalen Duren, everyone knew this was the biggest decision of the entire offseason. They landed Kessler through a sign-and trade with Utah for two future.
Let me ask you this: now that we have Kessler, for the Laker fans out there, would you have rather rock with Kessler or would you rather rock with Durant? You know what I'm saying? I've seen Jalen Duren in action. I haven't seen too much of Kessler, but I know what he's about.
First-round picks in 2031 and 2033, two swaps in 2028 and 2030, and 4 years at $130 million on top of that. That's a massive, massive gamble for a guy who played 5 games last season before his injury ended this year. But looking back at his healthy season, and you instantly realize why the Lakers dropped that massive bag. The man put up 11 points on 66% shooting, 12 rebounds, and over 2 blocks every single night while completely locking down the entire paint. This is literally the perfect center for Luka because he plays elite defense to cover up Luka's mistakes on one end and then just runs the floor to catch the easiest lobs of his entire life on the other.
Bogdan Bogdanović in 2020. Your reaction to this news?
This is a very significant development and a home run for the Lakers because even though it cost them these 2 first-round picks, getting Walker Kessler is exactly the type of player that they needed to put alongside and behind Austin Reeves.
And here's where Cameron Carr comes in. Kessler owning the paint and dragging defenders towards the rim creates the exact corner 3 looks that Carr has been completely burying in Summer League like it's nothing. But we'll get to that in full later in the video. So Kessler was to start. Pelinka still had a massive backcourt problem. And the answer to that guard problem came in 2 massive moves that most people are still completely sleeping on right now. The first piece was Quentin Grimes for 4 years and $60 million. And before you start complaining that $60 million sounds like a crazy amount of money for him, here's what you're missing. Grimes and Luka already have real chemistry from their time together in Dallas. And when both of them were on...
Get to that, man. Luka has the game. Luka has the game. He's top 3 in the world. What he needs is them solid role players, them dogs around him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that could back up his when he's tired, when he's barking.
On the floor together, the Mavs were putting up over 120 points per 100 possessions. That's not just a random coincidence. It's a direct preview of what's coming next for LA. He averaged over 13 points last season on 45% shooting, cleared 20 points in 15 different games, and gives the Lakers a lockdown perimeter defender who can take on everything Marcus Smart used to handle. I mean, he won't be smart, but that's not what they need him to be. They just needed someone who could guard at the point of attack and keep growing next to Luka. And there was still the biggest problem of all. What happens when Luka sits? Because last season, the offense completely died the second he went to the bench. And that cannot happen on a team trying to compete in this current Western Conference. So instead of grabbing another playmaker, Pelinka went and found a scorer, Collin Sexton. Sexton dropped over 15 points a night and shot 40% from 3 for 3 straight seasons. Plus, he already spent years.
Man, Collin Sexton, man, he a dude that's going to get out there. He is not afraid of the moment, the lights. He's gonna get out there and hoop. Hoopers and dogs is what we need. We got the corporate side gone.
Next to Kessler, so their chemistry is instant and ready.
Grimes, clean up, faking, driving, feeding, Grimes 3.
Then came the finishing touch that ties everything together. Sandro Mamukelashvili. See, Mamu was supposed to be a depth piece. I mean, everyone thought he was just a forward stretching the floor for playoff options. But then the Lakers gave him 4 years and $52 million after a massive career year where he averaged over 11 points, while shooting nearly 39% from deep and 52% from the field in 80 games. In his 13 starts last season, he was putting up almost 16 points a night on 41% from deep. That's not a depth piece. That's a weapon. So here's why Mamu specifically matters for Cameron Carr. With Kessler owning the paint, Mamu stretching the floor at the 4, and Grimes and Sexton spacing the perimeter, Luka suddenly has 4 legitimate snipers around him at the same time. Every single drive Luka makes is going to collapse the entire defense and kick out to a wide open shooter. And right now in Summer League, Carr is the exact shooter that opposing teams are completely forgetting to guard, even though his numbers are insane, especially for a rookie. When the system is clicking, Luka probes the pick and roll with Kessler while Carr relocates to the corner and buries shots before the defense even realizes he moved. It's not just some random supporting cast. It's a perfect ecosystem, and Carr fits it perfectly. And speaking of Carr, you know how we've been mentioning Cameron Carr this entire video? Well, let's actually talk about what this kid has been doing in Summer League, because it's genuinely one of the most exciting things happening in the NBA right now. See, the Lakers traded up from 25 to 24 specifically to get him. And before the draft, most analysts had him as a fringe lottery guy who somehow slipped to mid-20s. Father, Chris Carr, was runner-up to Kobe Bryant in the 1997 NBA Slam Dunk Contest and spent 6 seasons in the league. So basketball has genuinely been in this kid's blood since before he could even walk. He spent 2 seasons at Tennessee before transferring to Baylor, where he absolutely exploded, putting up nearly 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and over a block per game while shooting 6 seasons in the league. So basketball has genuinely been in this kid's blood since before he could even walk. He spent 2 seasons at Tennessee before transferring to Baylor, where he absolutely exploded, putting up nearly 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and
the thing about Cameron, man, I don't know if that's his size or his, his stature, but he's young. He's gonna get some size on him, and man, that this kid might be explosive. His body frame might need to be like that. Might just need to be like how it is to hoop on a daily basis.
Over a block per game, while shooting 49% from the floor and 37% from deep.
For the win, no good, Watson!
And then the Summer League started, and people stopped treating him like a depth piece real quick. He dropped 19 points with 5 triples against Golden State in his very first game, 26 points in an overtime comeback win over Miami with 8 rebounds, 23 points against the Clippers, while J.J. Redick was literally watching from the courtside seats as the Lakers won comfortably. He followed that up with 14 against the Bulls in a blowout win. In fact, 6 games into July, the kid's averaging 17.5 points in under 25 minutes a night, while only turning the ball over 0.7 times per game, which includes 3 completely flawless nights without a single giveaway. He hit double figures in 5 out of 6 matchups, outplaying guys drafted way ahead of him every single night. And he's doing it in a way that fits next to Luka Dončić perfectly, as if the whole offense was built around his skill set. However, the one thing Carr himself said needs work is defense.
To kind of get on the court right away.
First things first is
play defense. I feel like I got to show that I'm the best defender here.
He knows he has to get stronger and more disciplined on that end. And that alone honestly tells you something about where his head is at. But here's the part that should make every single Lakers fan genuinely uncomfortable. Despite all the insane hype surrounding this new look Lakers squad, there are a few massive questions that we need to have a serious conversation about before October tips off. Walker Kessler played a grand total of 5 games last season because a torn labrum is definitely not a minor injury. Asking him to immediately transform into an elite defensive anchor next to Luka in his first full year back is a huge expectation that nobody's being completely honest about right now. And since they
it'll take some time, man. And the biggest thing is that they just work them in slow. You know, it's not an immediate thing. But starting the season, work them in slow. It's a new environment, new place. You know, we need to figure this out.
Traded 2 future first-round picks and committed $130 million to get him. If Kessler fails to become that star, the front office will have absolutely zero assets or financial flexibility to save themselves. Then you have to look at the brutal competition in the West. Teams like OKC and San Antonio both got significantly better this offseason while keeping all their future draft capital intact. Unlike those front offices, the Lakers just shoved their entire stack of chips right into the middle of the table. Luka, Austin Reeves, and Kessler alone are going to cost the franchise around $475 million over the next few years. They burned through almost all of that $50 million in cap space and have virtually no tradable first-round picks left, meaning their actual margin for error is basically zero. And we have to remember that Carr is still just 21 years old and has never stepped foot in a regular season game. Summer League is just Summer League at the end of the day, and his defense requires major work. He stands at 6'5", but only weighs 175 pounds, which means physical NBA wings are going to absolutely try to bury him the second the real games start. But here's the flip side. Kessler's only 24 years old and fits the Luka timeline perfectly. This is not some desperate move built around an aging veteran. It's a highly calculated bet on who Kessler becomes over the next 4 years, while playing with one of the greatest playmakers in basketball history. Grimes, Sexton, and Mamu all fill the exact spaces on the roster that Luka explicitly asked management to fix. So, what do you think? Did the Lakers just pull off the smartest reset we've seen in years, or did Pelinka give up way too much trying to build the perfect roster around Luka?
Yeah, man. In my opinion, bro, you the Lakers, you need, what happened here? Anyway, you the Lakers, you need that leverage, that little wiggle room to, in case this doesn't work. But however, you gotta be the Lakers and go all in. You gotta go all in on this type of stuff. You never know, like generational talent, which is Luka Dončić. Luka the Don. Generational talent. Now, what his window and with the Lakers, you just got to give him what he wants right now. Or you want him to sit here, rot 3-4 years of his prime, he's gonna bounce. He's gonna bounce. So I think people are really in for a surprise on how this Laker team is gonna come out. Now, but put in the comments, man, what y'all think? Are we busted? We bums, or people don't know what they're talking about, man. We're gonna see, man. Yeah, man. If y'all here for the first time, man, hit that like on the way out, man, or on the way in. And we're going live here in 15 minutes, man. Gonna have the homies in, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Stone, JD, Mr. McGlover. Hopefully y'all doing good. I'm gonna talk to y'all in a minute. Doc TV, Power Report. Gone.